Okay. Okay, and that's when we start talking. Yeah. Okay. So I start with Nina, yeah? I start talking when Nina talks, yeah? Okay. All good. The next screen. Okay. Okay, and that's when we start talking. Yeah. Okay. So I start with Nina, yeah? I start talking when Nina talks, yeah? Okay. All good. The next screen. Okay. Okay, and that's when we start talking. Yeah. Okay. So I start with Nina, yeah? I start talking when Nina talks, yeah? Okay. All good. Okay, and that's when we start talking. Okay, welcome to the IOF Live Centre coverage here in Turku for round one of the World Cup 2017. We're in Turku, Finland. It's 21 degrees and a little bit cloudy, and we're just waiting for our runners to start to come out soon. At the moment, we're just showing you the GPS maps. This will be for the women's start, so the race will be held women first, men second and third legs, and women to finish it off in fourth. So we're just showing you control 4 to 5 from one of our pre-runners and the running cam. Okay, welcome to the showing which way that the guys will have to decide to go here in Turku for round one of the World Cup 2017. We're in Turku, Finland. It's 21 degrees and a little bit cloudy. We're just waiting. We've got our running man, Timo Mikkola, who will also be out there running today. At the moment, we're just showing you the GPS maps. I'm not sure if you can see your pictures yet, but we're starting to get our runners, the first ladies coming out, preparing to get their maps for the start of today's race. Men second and so we have about 40 teams, I believe. So we're just showing you, just checking that, 40 teams that will be running today. There's a few mixed teams there. If we go through all who the favourites are, let's just wait until we see that picture on our screen. So still another running cam shot, control 12 to 14, showing the different routes possible. Mikkola, who will also be out there running today. At the moment, we're just showing you the GPS maps. I'm not sure if you can see your pictures yet, but we're starting to get our runners, the first ladies coming out, preparing to. So we have all the girls lined up now. If we just go through some of the top teams. We have Switzerland 1, Denmark as 2, Sweden 3, Russia 4, Norway 5, and Finland 6, which will probably be our main teams from today. But further back in the field, we also have team number 19, which is Switzerland 2, which is finishing with Fabian Herdner and Julia Gross. 21 is Sweden 2. It's got Gustav Bergman running second leg and Lilian Forsgren running the last. And then for number 24 is Finland 2, with Meri Rantanen finishing, and Morten Bostrom may be a surprise. He's in the second team today. So we may have 3 second teams there that may kick up some surprises. In terms of the other teams though, Switzerland, we're starting off with Sabine Husworth, Denmark, Klisna, Sweden, Olsen, Russia, Rudnaya, Norway, Shrav, and Finland 1 is Kirsi Numi. So we should be coming up to the start now. Only, I believe, 1 minute or so to go, and then we should be going to some pictures from out in the forest so you can see how it is all going. I'll try to keep you updated with the results as they come into me, and also some commentary through the GPS as it comes up. The crowd we have in Finland today. So as I said, it's in Turku, Finland, and it's a nice sunny day, ready for the guys to run. So there is all the girls right now, about 40 competitors we have today. So women first. The women's course is approximately 3.5 kilometers long with 65 meters climb. When we move over to the men's, it's approximately 3.9 kilometers and 85 meters climb. We'll see from the start. I'm not quite sure where they found 85 meters of climb, but I think the first leg, they're going to be climbing up to 40 meters up onto the top of the hill near the Turku Stadium. So 10 seconds to the start now.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Okay, and the girls are off. If some of you guys have the GPS map in front of you, you'll see they have about 150 meters to run out to the start triangle, and then it's going to be a big climb up onto the hill through some quite nice forest and deciding which way to go into the first control. There is a split in there, but I think they will all be going the same way to get to it. Up the hill, dead straight, and left or right around the building. We have one control on a man-made feature and another on a tree just a little bit further from it. So we can see the girls still running up those stairs. This is that open area with all the tracks I was talking about before. I think once we get up there, we'll see the speed increase from all the ladies. So the first ladies are coming up on top of the hill, and no surprise, but I believe it was Sweden, Switzerland, and Denmark leading. And there's Timo Mikola, who'll be providing our running cam footage that should be appearing up on your screen soon. They'll actually be running past a few of their other controls. I believe controls 8, 9, 10 are just around where they are running through now, if that hasn't appeared on your maps yet. So looking at the GPS, we have Switzerland, Czech, Denmark, Great Britain. Everybody's still in there. I think Russia and Norway have a slight issue with their GPSs at the moment, so we'll see if they catch up. So I'm just waiting for our first splits to come through on my screen, and I'll tell you when that happens. So they pretty much all went the same way into that first control to the left-hand side, and now they're trying to figure out the route to control 2 or 3. There is a gaffle in here. It seems to have split up. Czech, Sweden, and Norway going to the left, and most of the other countries going to the right. So the countries to the right seem to have the closer control. The other countries are the longer control. You can see Russia going a completely different way to the others. Just be prepared. The out of bounds, the GPS can be a little bit off, so they will be running on the correct path next to the building, which is not out of bounds. So still quite even. It was Anastasia Rudenaya, who is the only person that went the left-hand route. And here we see them coming in. So do we have the Russians, the Finns, Great Britain team, which Ed Nicholas, the coach of GBR, told me today were going to be the winners. We'll have to see about that, but that was his top pick for the day. So the girls have just come through 1 kilometer. I'm still waiting for... Here we go. So we have Russia in 1, 3:38. Finland is 2 seconds behind. Denmark, 4 seconds behind. Great Britain, 5 seconds. Denmark, 1, 6 seconds. Finland, 1, 6 seconds. And Switzerland, 7 seconds behind at the moment. So it's still early days. We would expect that quite a few of the teams now will come in a big pack after the first leg. This is a sprint relay, and normally it only gets decided at the very, very end of the day. So as I said before, though, we have probably 6 teams which would be our favourites today. Switzerland 1, Denmark 1, Sweden 1, Russia 1, Norway 1, Finland 1. And then the extra countries that could also come in, Switzerland 2, Sweden 2, and Finland 2, all with top World Championship runners who seem to be running in the second team. So now we have the results up in front again. Russia on 3:38. We have Finland 3 in second place. Another bit of a split as we head to control 6. Another gaffle there, and then I believe we have a TV control for control number 7. So here we go. We should see them come all the way through. This is one of the split controls. You can actually see both controls in there, I believe. So is this Finland 3 that is actually leading at the moment, which is Anna Haitaja, who will be handing over to Jessi Laukkarinen onto the second leg. So Finland 3 first, Switzerland second, Sweden third, Denmark 2 fourth, and Great Britain, as Ed Nicholas said, is still up there in the leading group. '13th Russia 2, 14th Estonia 2, 16th Great Britain 2, 17th Czech Republic, 18th Norway 1, 19th Sweden 2, 20th Australia, 21 Spain. So we have some short legs coming up and then some trickier controls just off the edge of the hill that we saw them run up previously to get to the start. So here we go, we're heading into control 8 or 9, depending on which gaffle they're on, and we still have Finland 3 in front. So Finland, Denmark, Sweden, Switzerland, Russia, Great Britain. Still about 10 teams within 10 seconds we have here. Also the mixed team, while maybe not competitive, is made up of some countries that did not have full teams to run today. So now we're coming down to one of the maybe trickier controls, trying to work out to go left or right. We did look with some of the other commentators today and thought some may take the left-hand option if they didn't see the right-hand one through the stairs straight away. But it seems the first person reading the map there got the correct route, and everybody else is following. After this leg as well, they will come back for a spectator control and come through the Passover arena in front of us and then head over onto the other side of the lake, other side of the Turku River for another loop there. So here we go, they're coming into the spectator control here. Switzerland in front, Finland 3, Sweden, Russia, Great Britain, mix 4, Denmark, Finland. And now we can see them right in front of the commentary booth, coming through to get ready to go back out on the loop on the other side of the river. So for any of you that have the GPS map in front of you, they're just reaching control 16 or 17, I believe, yeah, 16 or 17. And now they're heading over the bridge for the final kilometre, roughly, of this course. So it was control 13, they were just leaving. So here's the large second group: Czech Republic, France 2, Russia 2, Australia, Spain, Austria. A bit of a split. This group is about 45 to 1 minute behind.
Czech Republic, France 17, Russia 17, Australia, Spain, Austria, Italy, Denmark 13, Tanskan kolmosjoukkue 9.
So we've just got the leaders up. It's Switzerland are leading, Finland 3, Sweden, Russia, Great Britain, mixed 4, Denmark, Finland, Denmark 2 and Finland 2, all within 9 seconds, as we're about 2/3 of the way through this first leg today at the Orienteering World Cup here in Turku, Finland. This is round 1 of the Orienteering World Cup for 2017. So some short legs inside the tricky old town here in Turku. Controls 15 to 16. When they come out of 16, we'll actually be able to see them again, I believe, down by the lake for the Buster boat control. So they're going to have to come back out here to the left, and we should see them appearing in 5 or 6 seconds. Oh, there they are. So that's our Buster boat control for today. Another route choice coming up. They'll come out and need to turn right and go back round to the main road, or they'll follow the promenade all the way along and then come in from the back. Some of the spectators for today's race. So we still have some of the more teams coming through. So we have 11 in the group, 11 in the lead group. 12 seconds is all that it is that groups them up. Also in front of me, I now have all of the men's teams getting ready to run. So if we just have a look, Switzerland 1 will be handing over to Florian Howard if they keep the lead as they do. Finland 3 will be handing over to... Sorry, I don't have Finland 3 in front of me. Here we go. Finland 3 will be handing over to Jesse Laukarainen. So I'm just having a problem with some of my results coming up, so we're just going to have to look at the GPS screen for now. So we still have Switzerland 1 in front, Sweden, Russia, Great Britain is still there, Denmark, Finland 1, Finland 2, and that seems to be the group that was made up of 11 runners in 12 seconds. At the moment they're 3.3 kilometres in, only about 200 metres to go. They're just going to come across and punch on the control that is on the bridge, so here we can see them coming now. And after that, it is 2 controls into the finish, and then the change over to the men. So actually we have Catherine Taylor from the UK leading now. Both the Swedish teams, there was 2 Finnish teams. I believe there was 2 Danish teams as well. So it is Catherine Taylor, it looks like will be coming in as the leader for this leg. As I said, there is still 2 controls before they do the changeover. One on this old building here, that's the second last control, and then we'll see them very, very soon from the finish shot. So it seems Catherine went a little bit lower, and we now have Sweden in front, but all the teams are there. 2 Swedish teams, 2 Finnish teams, 2 Danish teams, the Great Britain team. And now we are coming into the changeover. So Sweden 1 or 2, Sweden 1, 2 and 3 I think will be crossing the finish line 1, 2 and 3. We have Switzerland, we have Great Britain, Denmark, Finland, and they're just coming through to change now. So actually the leader wasn't another Swedish team, it was a mixed team. So it's an unofficial team, but a mixed team is now leading round one of the World Cup. So that was Alva Olsen, who was leading the mix, and then we had Sweden 2, Sweden 1, Switzerland 1, Great Britain 1, Russia 1, Denmark 2, Finland 3, Denmark 1, Finland 2, and Finland 1. 11 teams in 20 seconds that came into the finish. So I would imagine that one of our leaders, or one of our winners for the end of the day, will come out of this group.
So we have now 12 teams changing, and the cat from
So we still have some women coming in as the men head up out the hill. We'll move on to the men's start triangle pictures as soon as the last few women's teams have come through. We have Czech Republic, Great Britain, Switzerland, and Denmark. Other teams changing over as well now. So I can see the men flying off up the hill now. Their course is 3.9 kilometres today, so about 400 metres longer than the women. As I said, the men will do leg 2, they will also do leg 3, and then the women will finish for leg 4. Coming past me through the change now, we have two French teams. We have the Austrians, New Zealand, Italy, Spain, the Australian team. But now looking at the pictures, we have the men climbing up the hill on the way to their first control. So in the lead now we have Great Britain 1, Switzerland 1, Sweden 1, Finland 1. We have 6 teams within about 15 seconds of each other coming out of the first control to the second. There is a gaffle for the second and third controls, but they'll rejoin all together and we should get a better idea of who is in front at the fourth control. It seems Switzerland is going very far right to try to come around the back of all of these buildings. It's maybe a possibly good route choice. Very flat, very open, and a nice entry in. So the picture you can see now is actually for any runners that are taking the left-hand option through the tunnel. And we have the first runners that have actually punched the second or third control. So we have Switzerland in front, Sweden, one of that's Gustav Bergman. We have Finland and Dmitry Svetkov from Russia. I'm not sure if we lost Great Britain in there. They were up the front group as they came through the women's control. Now we have the results coming up. Switzerland first, Sweden second, Sweden 2 third, Finland 3 fourth. So that Finnish team I was talking about before, which has Morten Bostrom running now. And no, I'm wrong, Morten's running in the second team. The Finnish third team has Jesse Laukariainen. There we have Great Britain in 7th, they're 13 seconds behind. 8th is Finland, 18 seconds behind, and Finland 2, as I said, with Morten Bostrom, is 23 seconds behind at the moment. So now they all have the same control for control 5, and then there will be another split for control 6, but it's very similar, so I would imagine we see them all coming the same way. So it's either left around the building, or they'll cut across right now, especially if their control is more to the north. So we can see Sweden 2 is going the left option, and the leading team of Switzerland 1 is going the right option. I think it is very similar, probably the left-hand control for the left guys and the right-hand control for the right guys makes sense. As we come in as well, we should have another TV control at control number 7, so we should get a much better view of who is actually in the lead. So at the moment we can see Emil Svensk and Florian Howard from Switzerland and Sweden 1 teams comparatively. Gustav Bergman, Jesse Laukariainen, I think Dmitry Svetkov coming in now. Soren Schweitz, Andreas Bogard, Peter Hodgkinson. So now we're down to 7 teams within 13 seconds. Topi Raitanen for Finland 1 is only a few seconds behind. We should be waiting for Morten Bostrom and Øystein Kval Osterbo. There is Morten punching now, and Øystein Kval Osterbo from Norway 2 should be our next runner coming through. So it seems there are a bit of a gap now. We have 9 teams in about 22 seconds. So here we have Florian Howald from Switzerland 1. They're in the lead. Then Emil Svensk, and I believe it is Gustav Bergman, who has come up from nowhere. Dmitry Svetkov. And here's our running cam coming into the forest now. So these guys are just going to control 8 or 9, which is just over the edge of the big hill that they needed to run up previously. They'll come back up onto the open land now, have a couple of controls here, and then head back down to the spectator point before they head it back across the river for the open street part of the course in the old town of Turku. So it seems that Sweden 2 has actually made a bit of a gap now from the GPS that we can see. I think we may be missing a few of the GPS from especially the second Swedish team. We can see as well a control 8, Topi Raitanen, actually missed control 8, so he's pushed them a way back. So leading through this leg now, we still have Switzerland in front, Sweden second, and Russia third. So those runners would be Emil Svensk, Florian Howald, and Dmitry Svetkov. We'll have Jesse Lakriainen is in 4th place, and Soren Schwartz from Denmark leading up 5th. Great Britain is Peter Hodgkinson. 22 seconds now separate the top 6 teams. As we start to see, they will come back down off the hill relatively soon to the spectator control. So some more results up. Switzerland 1, Great Britain in 6th. So the 2 Swedish teams in front at the moment. We have Gustav Bergman. They come down. We can see them now coming down towards the Spectre 4 teams. That's Dmitry Svetkov for Russia, who is leading up the back of that group. We have Jesse Lakriainen from the Finnish team and Peter Hodgkinson for the British team. Denmark, Finland 2. Morten Bostrom coming through now. He's only about 27 seconds behind the leading group at the moment. So still plenty of time for many teams. So we can see them going across the bridge now, which will get them over to the second part of the course, which is just flat street running, a few small route choices. The first control is relatively easy. The first to the second in this group, it's just basically a choice of left or right. So Florian Howard, Emil Svensk, Dmitry Svetkov, Jesse Lakriainen, Soren Schwartz and Peter Hodgkinson finishing off numbers 1 to 6. We have Øystein Kval Osterbo, Matthias Geberts, GBR second team, and they're coming through as a pack behind. That lead has moved out to about 1.5 minutes. So remember, there is some gaffles, but 1.5 minutes is quite a lot. Topi Raitanen is in there as well. We have the two Czech teams. You can also see to the right of the screen the men for the third leg getting ready. We have Martin Hubman, Tui Lassen, Jonas Leandersen, Andrei Kramov, Håkan Jarvis Westergaard, Fredrik Potin, probably of the top 6 teams. So here we go, they're punching the buster control already. They have 3 short legs now before we come over to the control on top of the bridge, and then it's a straight fast finish to the 2 second last controls. So Sweden is leading in 23.55, Switzerland second, Russia third, Great Britain fourth, and Denmark 2 in 5th at the moment. So Denmark 2 and he'll be handing over to Magnus de Witt for the leg 3. And Finland 2 in 7th and 8th, 25 now for Finland 2. It does seem as we thought, though, most of the top teams are still in there. Norway 1 is out. They're still in the race, but I think they're a bit too far behind. As I said, Great Britain, as Mr. Ed Nicholas, the coach of the GBR team, said they would win. Well, I didn't believe him, but they are very, very much still in the race, with Peter Hodgkinson about to hand over to Ralph Street, who can certainly run fast, just whether it's in the right direction. So here we have 2 Swedish teams and the Swiss team coming over the bridge now. We have Emil Svensson, Florian Howard, and Gustav Bergman, and Dmitry Svetkov should be coming to picture any second soon. Now it seems Dmitry has made a miss, so we have Soren Schwartz, I believe, from Denmark 2, who has actually gained some time on him, and then the second, or Denmark 1 team punching now. So they're coming in now to the second last control, the same control that the women had. Be a short run to the last control on the main street, and then we'll come through for the changeover. So the main ones to look at in the changeover: Switzerland 1, Florian to Martin Hubman; Denmark 1, Bosan to Tui Larsen; Emil Svensk to Jonas Leandersen; Dmitry Svetkov to Andrei Kramov; Peter Hodgkinson to Ralph Street. So there was a change over there to one of the female competitors. I think that must be for one of the mixed teams we have in here, or somebody's made a mistake. So now we've got Ralph Street heading out, followed quickly by Denmark, and then Andrei Kramov, multiple world champion from back in the years, and probably one of the fastest runners in orienteering at the moment, heading out. We've also got Morten Bostrom finishing for Finland 2. These guys are doing pretty much the same course as they did before. They'll be heading back off up the hill. It's about a 30-meter climb on about a 300-meter long leg. So quite a climb out of the arena here. We've got Matthias Gebertz finishing now, who will be handing over to Fabian Hürtner. So quite surprised to see both Gebertz and Hürtner in Switzerland too, but I'm sure they have a reason for that. Julia Gross will be finishing for that team. We have Finland 1 heading out now, which is Fredrik Potin, and I think that's the Polish there as well. 2 Czech teams coming in now for a changeover. We have Great Britain 2, the 2 Czech teams. We're just looking at pictures now from the changeover. A lot of exhausted runners there. So at the changeover, we have Sweden first, Switzerland second, Great Britain third, Denmark 2 fourth, Russia 5th, Denmark 6th, Finland 3 7th, Finland 2 8th, Norway 2 9th, and Norway 1 in 10th position. with the whole spread being about a minute 20 back to 10. So I would imagine that our leaders or our winners for today, the medals, will probably come out of the top 6 teams, which was Sweden, Switzerland, Great Britain, Denmark, Russia, and Denmark won. 33 seconds for that spread. So still seeing the final runners who are waiting for their changeover. So the top teams are already out to controls 3 and 4. We have Martin Hubman leading with Jonas Leanderson right behind him. So it is Switzerland 1 and Sweden 1. 2 of the biggest favourites from the start. Still waiting to see where Denmark 1 is. Only a 1 second gap between those 2 teams at the moment. And then we have Ralph Street coming in for Great Britain. They'll be about 20 seconds behind, but can still see the leaders. Ralph's being followed by 6 or 7 teams right behind him. I'm still waiting for some timing on my computer screen to come up. So Ralph was 19 seconds behind. Just waiting to see which teams still come into this control, which is control 3 to 4, depending on which gaffle the runners are on. They have 2 controls in amongst all these buildings, and then we'll see them come back out into the open park on the top of the hill up near the Turku Stadium. So there we have the top 6 runners at the moment, only 27 seconds. Well, here we go, 28 seconds for the top 8 teams. So still anybody's game, but I would imagine one of the medalists will come from these 2 teams here. We have Martin Hubman and Jonas Leanderson, both world champs or world champ medalists. Looking back, we have Ralph Street, coming into punch here, followed by, I believe that was Tui Larsen, the Denmark 2nd team as well, and the Russian team of Andrei Kramov. We still have Finland 3 are in the game, with the 3rd leg runner being Joni Hirvikallio. So we can see the GPS now of the Swiss and the Swedes coming into that control just on the edge of the big hill back down towards the river. Remember, these 2 teams will pass over to Martin Hume will pass over to Elena Rus, and Jonas Leanderson will pass over to Helena Jansson. The Russian team will be having Galiana Vinogradova, who will be running last for them. And the Great Britain team, it'll be Tessa Strain. So some very good runners in there for the women's teams. So Ralph Street seems to have lost a little bit of time. He was in 3rd place before. He's dropped back a couple of places, but still in the action. So Switzerland and Sweden seem to be extending their lead out a little bit. Coming through to control 12 here. Switzerland a bit out to the left. They're coming to the one round the back. So there is a gaffle for those 2 teams. They'll probably both go a different way to control 13. And then we'll start heading back down towards the spectator control. So control 13 and 14 for them. Bear Rock, Jonas Leanderson seems to have got a little lead, but I think it was just from the gaffle that they had previously. I'm trying to look at which gaffles everybody is on for the finish, and I'll try to get that to you soon. Actually, looking at it now, it seems that they have completely different gaffles the whole way home for Switzerland and Sweden. Completely different. So now we have Denmark in third, 18 seconds behind. Andrei Kramov for Russia, 31 seconds behind. The Finnish third team and Ralph Street for Great Britain, 37 seconds behind. So the top 8 are rounded off in 40 seconds at the moment. So heading down to control 14-15, depending on the gaffle. We thought there was 2 options to go left or right, but it seems from all the other legs, everybody's going right, so we can probably assume those guys will do the same. Down the stairs, around onto the main road, and back through one of the tunnels. But now we should have the top 2 teams coming to the spectator control. And Jonas Leanderson has extended his lead by a little bit, so Martin Human in second, everybody else. So we can see him running through the passageway now. We'll punch the second spectator control, and then head out over the bridge, back into the old town. And then onto the bridge. Tui Larsen for Ralph Street, plus Finland 3. So Finland 3 is doing very well with only 1 leg to go after this. Andrei Kramov in your picture, Ralph Street, and Finland 3. Joni Hirakallio. Fabian Hurtner for Switzerland 2. Surprising they're a little bit behind considering they also had Matthias Kuberts running on the second leg. Now we have the running cam following Martin Hubman, and you can also see Jonas Leanderson just a bit in front of him as they run through the old town of Turku here in Finland. So they were punching control 17 in there. 1 more control, and then we'll see them come out to the Buster boat control down by the Turku River. Will be Jonas Leanderson to come in to punch here first. So there we go, we can see him now. And let's get some time splits. And there's Martin Hubman right behind him. So I would expect both of these teams to come in together and be handing over to Elena Ruz and Helena Janssen to go out on the final leg together. There is 1 gaffle in here, so these guys will have different controls. And let's just see if Switzerland maybe has a slightly shorter leg to get them back together. Just waiting at that spectator control again to see which teams we have coming through now. And it looks like we have Ralph Street and Andrei Kramov, who are now in 3rd and 4th, with the Finnish team 3 of Joni Hirakallio in number 6. We also have Finland 3, Finland 2, and Denmark 2, all within 50 seconds of Jonas Leanderson as the leader. At the moment as well, we can see the women starting to line up, so they know the men aren't very far away. I would expect they have about 450 meters to run, so we should be seeing them come in approximately a minute and a half. From the GPS here, we can see that Tui Larsen from Denmark seems to have picked up a little bit of time. Let's just see if that GPS was right. So here we have Jonas Leanderson, the leading team of Sweden 1. Martin Hubman, Switzerland 1, just behind him. And we're just still waiting to see which is the second team. I still believe it will be Ralph Street from GBR. No, here we go, Tui Larsen. So Denmark 1. He has certainly made up some time on this leg. if Denmark 1 can get back, they probably have the best last leg runner in this group of Maja Alm. So it's looking like a head-to-head between Alena Roos, Maja Alm, and Helena Jansson. Not forgetting Galina Vinogradova and Tessa Strain running for Russia and GBR if they can get back onto this group. So coming into the second last control was the two top teams, and then we also had Tui Larsen coming into punch now. So here we are going to the changeover. We have Jonas Leanderson, who will tag Helena Jansson, and Martin Human, who will tag Alena Roos. So there's Helena Jansson going out now, Alena Roos going out, and we're just waiting for the Maja Alm to head out for Denmark 1. It's hard to tell now, but we have to imagine that Maja Alm is probably the best girl there now. So with only a 15-second deficit, my money's on Denmark to win. And Ralph Street coming in. Now he'll be handing over to Tessa Strain. Approximately 40 seconds behind they'll be when she heads out. So a good run from Ralph there. And here we go with Tessa. We also have Andrei Kramov coming in now, who will be handing over to Galina Vinogradova. And she's heading out now, 43 seconds behind. Finland 3, Finland 2, changed over just then. We have Denmark 2, and Fabian Hurtner handing over for the Swiss second runner, who is Julia Gross. Just waiting, I heard over the commentary booth there was a disqualification for one of the top teams, but I have not heard who it was yet. I will pass it on when I hear. So Norway's just headed out with Ida Marines Björgel, Adela Indrakova for Czech Republic, and Karolina Zhurdorp for Denmark 2. So at the changeover for leg 3, we had Sweden 1 with Jonas Andersson, Switzerland 2 for Martin Huben, and Denmark 1 with Tui Larsen. There's still some runners coming in, approximately 2 minutes behind now. We have some Polish teams. Wojciech Kowalski for Poland is running in now. We have the Denmark third team. And the French first team coming in now. So the French first team will be handing over to Isaiah Basset. Czech 2, and the Austrian first team coming in now as well. So 17 teams in now, just under 3 minutes separating the top 17 teams. If we go back to the pictures on our screen though, of course we're back to the women, so they have a 3.5 kilometers with the 65-meter climb, and we're just looking at them heading towards control 2 to 3. We saw some of the men's team go out to the right. I think for the women's team, given their course placement, most of them will be going straight. So here we have Helena Jansson and Elian Roos, who are first and second at the moment together. But of course, here comes Maja Alm, who seems to have gained up some time. She was 15 seconds behind at the changeover, and I believe we'll see it will be a little bit closer than that now. So Helena Jansson has just punched at the radio control. 1 second behind was Elena Roos from Switzerland, and 9 seconds behind we have Maja Alm. So she's made up 6 seconds in the first kilometre, 2.5 kilometres go left of running. Looking at the GPS, we can see Great Britain there taking quite a different choice to control 3/4, and now she seems to have figured it out, or maybe we had an issue with the GPS. No, there she is. I think that was an issue with the GPS. We have Tessa Hill punching now, 38 seconds behind. So about the same as what she changed over with Ralph Street behind the leaders. Just coming through that that punch there. We also had Russia 1 of Galina Vinogradova and Finland 3 of Anna Narhi. Approximately 1 minute behind. Now we're looking at the next TV control. We should be able to see them punch this, and then they'll come into control 7. Control 7 just on the open edge of the out of bounds and the football field, I believe it is. So here we can see Helena Jansson, Elena Ruse, and we can see Maya Alm chasing them down in the background. If it comes down to a sprint finish, especially in amongst the street, Maya Alm would have to be the big favourite, I would imagine. Helena Jansson, many medals at World Championships, but a stronger runner through the forest. Mario seems to be much, much quicker anywhere. So Sweden 1, Switzerland 2, Denmark 3, 7 seconds separating. Maria Alm is still continuing to close that gap. Just waiting to see. There is Tessa Hill coming through control 6 to control 7 now. So I think that may be a little bit too far behind. She must be 35 seconds behind that front group. Maybe not enough for a medal. I think the medal will come from Switzerland 1, Denmark 1, or Sweden 1. Coming through that small treed area, quite a few paths and an open area to the bare rock. So now they have that slightly tricky leg. Every single team seems to have gone right, so they'll head right down a bunch of stairs and then come in off the main road. One leg after that, we should see them come to the... So we seem to have a mistake there from Elena Ruse, and Maya caught up. It seems like Elena was wondering whether she should have taken the right route that we were talking about. She's seen Helena's going to the left. Now they're all going left. So all the men's teams were going right. These women are going to go left. So down the long staircase and then back in round through some of those uncrossable walls. Sweden 1, Denmark 1, now in second place, and Switzerland 1 in third. Just waiting for them to come out from that control now. And this is the first spectator control we have down here at the arena. We would expect to see Helena Jansson coming out here in front. And here we can see Helena Jansson still in the lead, but there is Maya Alm and Elena Ruse. Very, very close together now. It's going to come down to a battle between these three teams for the medals. So as they come down through the spectator arena, a lot of cheering in the crowd here down by the Turku River. The top three teams, Sweden, Helena Jansson, Denmark, Maya Alm, and Switzerland, Elena Ruse. So here we can see the end part of the course. They're going to head over to the bridge that will cross the Turku River and head into the old town of Turku for 5 controls. There is only one gaffle, it seems, left, and that is the first control as they get in. Now we're just still waiting the spectator control for who that second group's going to be. We're imagining it will be Tessa Strain from Great Britain, and there she is. Nearly 1 minute behind now. Galina Vinogradova for Russia And then we have the Finland third team with Maria Rantanen. Sorry, Finland second team. Here is the Finland third team. So 7 teams in 1 minute and 12 seconds. Not quite sure what's happened to Finland 1. I'm trying to find them on our results. So here we have the running cam following Elena Ruse. And we can also see Helena Janssen. And there we go. Maya Alm has taken the... No, that's not Maya Alm. Sorry, that's a spectator. She's had a different split. The gaffle must have been different between Helena Janssen and Maya Alm. Given the rest of the course is non-gaffled though, we will see what is happening now. So back to the Buster control down by the lake. Waiting to see who is the first. Will it be Maya Alm or Helena Janssen who coming out to punch the spectator control down by the Turku River? And it is Helena Janssen. She will have Elena Ruse just behind her. Where is Maya Alm? There is Maya Alm. So we're talking 4 to 5 seconds gap between the top 3 teams now. It will come down to a sprint finish. There we go, 6 seconds to Maya Alm with Denmark. So we have Sweden 1, Switzerland 1, and Denmark 1 at this first round of the Turku World Cup. So they're back onto the main street now. They have 2 controls this side of the river. They will come back over the bridge for 1, and then it is a fairly decent run home. A run of 300 meters, probably back down the main road. It's going to turn into a running race. So they're all going the same way here to control 18. They haven't not separated. Control 18 to 19 could be a bit tricky. You can't go straight. It's got to be right or left. I'm guessing they will probably all stay together on this though. Here we have Tessa Hill for Great Britain, who's coming in to punch the spectator control. She seems to have 4th wound up. And then after that, I think we're waiting for Galina Vinogradova for Russia 1. A few gaps starting to appear now. So there we have Russia 1 in the GPS, followed by Finland 2 and Finland 3. Control 18 to 19, the top 3 teams are all going the same way. This will turn into a running race at the end. So who will be quicker? Elena Ruse, Helena Janssen, or Maya Alm? Here is the bridge control. So control 19. And then it's about 300-meter run home. And here we have Maya Alm leading, Helena Janssen second, and Elena Ruse coming up in 3rd. So it will be a sprint finish between Helena Janssen and Maya Alm. Elena Ruse punching now from Switzerland, Team 1. It seems that Maya Alm is starting to get a lead on Helena Janssen. They will go to that 1 control on that small building up in the side of the forest. There's a few steps up to it. So we should see them coming now, coming past that building, and then up the small embankment to punch the 2nd last control. Helena Janssen's trying to come back. 1 more to control to go after this. Here we go, it's going to be a sprint. And now we can see them outside of the commentary box. Helena Janssen is putting up one hell of a fight. They're coming to the last control. They are going to punch together. It's a sprint finish coming down. Maya Alm first. I can't tell. Helena Janssen, Maya Alm, Helena Janssen, Maya Alm. Oh, it looks like it may be Helena Janssen out-sprinted Maya Alm for the lead. Let's just have a look. They're going to be going to the photo finish, I think. Elena Ruse coming in for 3rd place. We're still waiting for a confirmation of who the winner is. They both have the same time at the moment on our screens, but it does look like Helena Janssen has edged out Maya Alm in a sprint finish. Elena Ruse being congratulated by her teammates, but now we're looking out for 4th and 5th. I can see Tessa Hill punching the 2nd last control now, followed very closely by Galina Vinogradova from the Russian 1st team. So Tessa coming to the last control with Galina hot on her heels. I think Tessa has enough room now, though. It's only a 100-meter long finish shoot. And here we have Tessa Hill coming down, Galina Vinogradova coming in for Russia, team number 4, and then team number 5 in today's competition. And looking down into team 6, it seems we have Merja Rantanen. Yeah, Merja Rantanen coming in for place 6 for Finland. So that is Finland 2, who have finished in 6th place. Finland 3 coming in now. We don't seem to have worked out where Finland 1 has ended up. So the results so far: Sweden 1, Switzerland 2, Great Britain 3rd. Great Britain 3rd. Okay, we just need to check on that. I did talk about a disqualification beforehand. We just need to confirm, was that disqualification from Denmark? Here we have Ida Marie Nesbjørgel coming in for Norway into 7th place. And a bit of a sprint finish. Here we have Finland 1, Denmark 2, and Czech Republic for 7th, 8th, and 9th positions. So we're still waiting on a confirmation of these final results. So I've just had confirmation now that Denmark has punched a wrong control. I'm not sure if it was in this final women's race, but Denmark has been disqualified. So the results do stand at the moment as Switzerland 1, Switzerland 2, and Great Britain for the bronze medal. We still have some runners coming in now. So we have Sweden 2 with Lilian Forsgren, who will be coming in for 11th position, and then Austria, team number 1, coming in for 12th. Also looking down, we have a Swiss team, another Czech team. So here we have Switzerland 2, I believe, Switzerland 3, I believe this is. So Czech Republic 2 coming in now in 12th place. I think we have a few disqualifications which will get confirmed soon, but it is confirmed for sure that Denmark first team has been disqualified after that sprint finish between Helene Jansen and Maria Alm. They missed a control. I'm just not sure on which leg that has happened yet. We have Denmark 3 has come in for 14th place, 4 minutes and 23 seconds behind the leaders. Just looking at our TV screen now, we have a Polish team coming in, or possibly 2 Polish teams coming in towards the finish. So punching the last control now. So no real surprises today, though. The main teams that were going surprised for Denmark to be disqualified. Also Finland won, as Ed Nicholas, the coach of the British team, said that they would be right up there and have actually come through for the bronze medal. Here we have the Estonian team coming through towards the finish with Anika Lima punching the second last control. The second Russian team coming through now, just down the finish chute with Tatiana Rybakina, a former world champion, finishing now for Russia 2. So Russia 2 finishing, and Estonia 1 also finishing. the French second team coming through. And one of the Spanish with the Latvian fighting for a sprint with the German team. And of course, this was the first competition in this series of round 1 of the 2017 Orienteering World Cup. So here we're just looking at a replay on the GPS, confirmed that Denmark has mispunched. Some spectators in the crowd here in Turku, Finland, for round 1 of the Orienteering World Cup. So here we have the final results. Sweden 1, Switzerland 2, Great Britain 3, Russia 4, Finland 2 with Meri Rantanen in 5th, Finland 3 with Anna Narhi in 6th, Norway in 7th, and 8th was Czech Republic. Going through to the next placings, Austria 11, Czech Republic 2, 12, France 13, Denmark 3, 14th, Poland 15th, Spain 16th, Russia 2, 17th, Estonia 18th. 19th was France 2, and Germany rounding up the top 20. We still have a few runners coming in now, just waiting to see who the next person to punch the last control. I can see a few runners coming to the second last control. There we are. That's where we are right now, the Turku River here in Finland for the opening round 1 of the 2017 Orienteering World Cup. So he's looking back at some shots from the competition today. This was the start of the women's first leg. The first changeover to the men for coming out onto leg 2. Matthias Geberts there. Some more brilliant running cam footage from Timo Mikkola. Trying to keep up with the runners. Gustav Bergman punching there in the lead. I think that was for Sweden too. Onto the third leg, seeing Ralph Street punch there. Martin Hubman running through the old town here in Turku. And onto the fourth leg, the battle between Helena Janssen and the soon-to-be disqualified Mari Alm for this sprint finish. And some very happy Swiss runners to hear about the disqualification. And Tessa Hill coming in to get a bronze medal. Some interviews now with the Finnish second team. We have Maria Rantanen and Morten Bostrom as part of that team there. Okay, and now I'm finishing off our program from here for the IOF Live Centre. I'm David Brickell-Jones, over and out.